Hey Blockheads, this is DM Mitch.
And this is DM Neal.
We want to take a moment to thank all of you who support this and all other Block Party Podcast Network shows through Patreon.
Yes, thank you so much for your support.
We also wanted to take a second to tell you about our next stretch goal.
That's right. When we reach $400 of monthly support, we will begin a new podcast called the DM Book Club.
The DM Book Club will be a monthly released podcast where we have an in-depth discussion on official and unofficial RPG materials, and even some novels.
The DM Book Club will have guests just like the Dungeon Master's Block. Every book that we look at, we will discuss from the viewpoint of, you guessed it, the DM.
Books will be voted on by Patreon members. So if you want to see this goal become a reality, you can help by heading over to www.patreon.com/Block Party Podcast Network.
Again, thanks for listening and supporting us. And now, enjoy the episode. Welcome back to the Dungeon Master's Block, the place where we focus on the Dungeon Master, the most important person in the game, the only person capable of playing God, killing characters, and lowering the ego of all of the people at the table. I'm one of your hosts, DM Neal, aka Joke Maniac.
And I'm DM Mitch.
And today we have an episode that will warm your heart. It's as simple as that. We have Sam and Birdie from Dungeons, Dragons, and Daughters. They are the daughters of Dungeons & Dragons and Daughters, and we asked them about their experience DMing because they have DM'd games, and they are 9 years old. And I'm not going to lie, the advice that they give, it's one of those things where it's like someone so much younger than me has such great ideas. I'm going to hang up my dice. I had several moments where I felt that way, but like I said, it is a fun-filled episode with some great advice packed in there.
And you also get a lot of information on Dave, and you get a lot of information on whiskey and even toots. So make sure that you're prepared.
Yes. Yeah. Get ready. But before that, we're going to shout out some iTunes reviews.
So all of these reviews come from Canada, and the first one comes from Elfremi and is entitled Fun and Entertaining, 5 stars. I'm not much of a D&D player, but some podcasts transcend their primary focus and are worth listening to, no matter what system floats your boat. The guys from the Dungeon Master's Block share interesting advice for your campaigns, tell interesting tales from their own campaigns, and have spawned other cool ideas like DMnastics. I'm still a year behind in the backlog, but looking forward to listening to all they have to offer. So thank you so much, Elfremi, for that review. That's awesome.
Thank you, and hopefully you've caught up and are just jam-packed with ideas.
Yes.
Speaking of floating your boat, the next review comes from DM Boats and Lows. As you already know, this review is from Canada, but we're going to make sure you know because it's entitled Goes Great with a Poutine in an Igloo. As a DM who started in 4E, I know this podcast has given me ideas and inspiration to start up again in 5E. We're doing the Lord's work. DMs Mitch and Chris created dinner table atmosphere where ideas, stories, and opinions are shared. A must listen for anyone wanting to give DMing a go or infuse their current games with awesome D&D goodies. And yes, I am Canadian.
Just in case you weren't sure.
Yes. Thank you, DM Boats and Lows.
And thank you for making that your iTunes name.
Yes.
Our next one comes from Cranky Brown and is entitled Found on Twitter, Led Me Here, 5 stars. Enjoying this for sure. New to DMing and to new players as well, your ideas and thoughts will be very helpful. Looking forward to more podcasts and learning. So thank you so much, Cranky Brown, for that not so cranky review.
Yep. And hey, that Twitter is working out.
And Neal, now that we're done our reviews, you know it's only time for one thing.
Let's head to the meat and whiskey.
I'm starving. We ain't had nothing but maggoty bread for 3 stinking days. have some meats.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
So for this segment of the meet, we have a very special episode with the two youngest members of the Block Party Podcast Network. Here with us today is Sammy and Birdie Bolin, the daughters of the Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters podcast. Also with them is Curt Bolin, but he's not that important for this episode. We'll talk about him later. But anyway, Sammy, Birdie, and Curt, I suppose, welcome to the show. Say hi to the listeners.
Hi. Hey, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Isn't it just Sam?
No. Please say Sam because I will scream if you call me Sammy one more time.
Okay, got it.
Got it.
Please don't scream. Our ears cannot take it.
All right, girls, we're going to ask you some questions, and Neal, you get to start us off with the first question.
I feel like this is risky. Sam, Birdie, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Whatever you think the listeners need to know right now.
Okay, for breakfast, I had a sandwich. And then for dinner, I had some chicken and some cheese. What cheese? And then I cut the cheese.
Oh.
Important information.
Oh, and my favorite animal is a bear. I thought it was a duck. Well, ducks are one of my favorite animals. Okay, I feel like we should move on.
Boom.
Wait, don't you guys want to talk more about me?
You kind of blew it.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think other people would be interested in hearing about Samantha Bolin?
Well, I do lots of activities, and I'm really into theater, and I live with 3 dorks. Kurt is the real dork.
All true facts still.
Batting 1,000 so far.
I would say I'm a sweet dork, but evil. I can be evil, but
Sweet but
I'm not
evil.
taking that. Yes. Yeah, she's the sweetest evil
I smell floral.
you'll ever find in a 9-year-old.
All right, Birdie. Okay. Tell us about yourself.
So I'm Birdie Bolin. My middle name is Anne. I'm 9.5 years old. I'm getting braces tomorrow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I love bacon. I have a stuffed animal named Puppers. She's pretty worn out, but she's pretty good. Pretty good. And Sam is very annoying.
Tell us about yourself. Sam is very annoying. Is Puppers, I'm going to take a guess. Is Puppers a puppy?
How did you know?
I won the game. I'm gone. Bye, guys.
Wait, I thought it was a dragon or a sloth.
How long have you had puppers for? 7 years? I think you were 2 when you got her? Yeah? What kind of activities do you like to do?
I really want a dog. I say pretty much every day, can I have a dog? Can I have a dog? Never had it. And there you have it.
Yeah.
You like dog activities.
Boom.
She likes like pooping in the woods. I've done a lot of theater. I've done about 10 plays.
You have done a lot of plays, that's right.
It's Aladdin.
That's the latest one.
I was Jasmine's attendant. I like playing video games. So do I.
Nice.
What's your favorite video game?
I can't choose for Roblox or Minecraft.
Roblox or Minecraft?
Yeah. And my favorite color is neon pink and neon yellow.
Neon pink and neon yellow.
And also sometimes neon orange.
Why neon?
They're very beautiful colors. And I hate basketball. I hate it.
I love how she sounds.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sam loves it. Wait, love it. I'm going
was
to
Sam
college.
the one who liked waffles?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the one who likes waffles.
Oh.
I'm going to college.
I'm not batting 1,000 with Sam tonight. For any of the listeners out there who haven't heard your podcast, which they should, right? Can you guys tell them a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters? Like, for any listeners who don't know what it is, what would you tell them about the show?
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters. Oh, well, that was a bird. It's about the wonderful character Mimi and her sidekick Galaxy. And her hunchman. And Galaxy's sidekick. No, your hunchman. Dave.
Wait, your sidekick has a sidekick?
Yes. No, Dave, who is hunchman. Drunk but smart and dumb. Very dumb. Yeah. And my parents died. It's lots of fun adventures of Mimi and her sidekick going and saving the universe. And Greg wants to marry me.
That's the summary. That's what you would tell people if they asked us about our show.
I am a very powerful wizard, to my opinion. Who's my sidekick? And I like punching stuff, even though I'm a wizard.
You are the punching wizard.
And I'm very powerful for my punching. I'm a druid, and I really love animals, and so I want a lot of pets. And you have a dinosaur. I do have a dinosaur, and
There's another thing that Mimi really loves.
Oh, I have a pet pony named Tiny Ginger, Tiny.
I thought you were gonna bring up. I thought you were gonna name a whiskey right away.
Oh, and Mimi loves whiskey. My pony's name is Bacon. I like to eat out of him.
This got dark real quick.
And I collect a lot of objects. I write them in my inventory, and Curtis gets very mad. Does he?
You can't just write stuff in your inventory.
I wrote Oreos, and no one wanted my Oreos. I have a doorknob. I have lots of stuff.
Girls, do you want to hear my 10-second pitch that I tell to people when they ask me?
Yes.
And you can tell me if it's accurate or not?
Yeah.
Okay, I say that Dungeons & Dragons and Daughters is a dad introducing D&D to his twin daughters, Sam and Birdie, who are obsessed with whiskey and Mage Hand.
That's about accurate, but you also forgot Dave.
Well,
he forgot all the important stuff that you guys told us about.
You really did.
Well, that's a really good point, because one of the things that I enjoy so much about our show is that Dave, the sidekick, according to Sam.
Or the hunchman, according to Birdie.
Or the hunchman.
Yes, hunchman. He has a very poor back.
That's why he's the hunchman. Not a henchman, a hunchman.
We try and do.
And he has a big nose that's shapely odd. And he has
And
a
he's
hunch
dumb
of
but
lots of-
smart.
And
And drunk.
And loves musculators.
But I do think that we should pause for a moment and say that we don't advocate for underage drinking in any way, shape, or form. That it's all playful and good fun references to alcohol and alcohol use, but it is a serious topic, underage drinking.
I gave him a stink eye.
It's too bad this is an audio format. That look that Sam gave me was pretty priceless. So, again, describing our show. Yes, thank you for bringing up Dave, because Dave is a rotating cast member that we try and bring new people on each episode to play Dave, our favorite halfling cleric.
He's coming like a wrecking ball.
And I've... From a Dungeon Master's perspective, I find it to be hilarious to see how each individual plays Dave a little bit different and how they interact with the girls, and how some folks feed into the goofiness of the antics of the girls more than others.
Yeah, and those always tend to be
What
the best
goofiness?
episodes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
What
wonder.
is
It's there. It's subtle.
Wonder.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next question,
The
please.
next question. It's a surprise question from one of our listeners who's named DM Pax, and they want to know, what do you think a healing potion would taste like?
Puke. I think it tastes like...
No, the Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew?
I think it would taste
No, it's bad.
like, my dad's toots. Me dad's toots.
And so that is what you think a health potion would taste like.
Yes.
My voice is a little hoarse.
There are no
I
wrong
have a health
answers.
potion for you. No, just let me die.
No, thank you.
I can walk it off. I'm good.
How long have you now been playing Dungeons and Dragons?
2 years. About,
2
yeah.
years. And what is it that you love about playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Mage hand!
Mage hand.
I love just being another character in a fantasy world and doing fantasy things, and also being able to drink. Gut, gut.
It's just like adults playing.
We're very young adults. We're very not mature.
Yeah, I find it hilarious that I continue to get consistent feedback from folks that they are surprised at. There's not much of a difference between 9-year-olds playing D&D and adults playing D&D.
Have you guys played any other characters than the ones in...
Yes!
You have? Which one was your favorite?
Actually, yes. I only have one other one because I don't feel like making another one till I keep playing this one. Her name is Jaya, and she's a bard.
And I love Jaya because every time Jaya uses vicious mockery, Sam on the spot comes up with the insults that the vicious mockery is.
That's fantastic.
And it's always hilarious.
I have a lot of characters.
What kind of a character was that?
She was a blah blah blah. A blah blah blah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And then you have Brenna.
Do you figure what the name of it is? It's the one that fights with their fists, right?
A monk.
A monk. Yeah, good job.
And then I have this other character that I keep forgetting. Brenna Timbers. Timber! And what is her type? Is she a gnome or a wizard?
She's a blah blah blah. We just talked about that.
Okay, so the one was the monk was a tiefling monk that she had created, right? And I thought that she really enjoyed that character class because she does get to punch everyone, which she's constantly trying to do on our show as a wizard, and surprisingly successful at it as well. And then the second one that you made was a
Brenna Timber.
Was a forest gnome sorcerer.
Yeah.
And the reason why you like the sorcerer so much is because you still get to use mage hand, right?
Still get to. It's all about the mage hand. I also get to use mage hand with Brenna.
What is the scariest monster that you've ever had to fight in Dungeons and Dragons?
The big spiders.
You don't like spiders?
Oh, I don't like them. I hate them. I will devour them and crush them.
Did you run away from the spiders? Did you run in and fight them because you had to get rid of them?
I walked. I know what my favorite.
Actually, if I remember correctly,
goblins.
I think that was the episode that you abandoned your group and went immediately for the treasure chest.
Been there.
Been there, done that. Oh, and I also don't. Oh, and I also hate goblins. Like, I crush them. Yeah, if I was dungeoning, I would do 50.
Are goblins scary?
No, I just hate them. They kill my parents.
They didn't kill your parents.
Yes, they did.
You can't tell me my backstory.
Touche. Bird, what about you?
Well, I don't really have a worst. I have a favorite.
You have a favorite? Okay.
The puppies!
Puppies.
Oh, that was in my episode.
Oh, yeah, the blink
you
dogs that
fight
we did in your
puppies?
adventures.
I didn't want to kill them. I wanted to try to tame them to be a pet. Didn't work. I'm bad at training pets.
So we spent about 15 minutes of rolling animal handling to see if Galaxy could tame one of these blink dogs and make it her pet. Didn't work out.
So Sam, you were DMing this game and you made Birdie have to fight puppies?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you sound like a cruel DM.
No, I'm just teaching her a lesson. I'm teaching her you can't always rely on dice, and sometimes you have to sacrifice them instead of you. And when
That's an
you
important lesson we all have to learn in
Remember,
life.
never trust a puppy. Birdie, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but have you been a dungeon master yet?
Yes.
Not on the show, but in one of our side adventures, she
awesome.
did do an adventure for us.
Oh, great.
What did you do? Did you have Sam fight kittens to get back at her?
No, that was before I had her fight. It was about an ocean adventure. The first thing they were on a boat. There was a driver. Right away he abandoned his ship right when they were on there. And he was reasoning why. And I don't remember because that was like a year ago. That's all I remember.
So long ago.
Every second feels like a year.
I would like to say, once again, just like adults. I don't remember. That was like a year ago.
So, well, I just remember being blown away by. So her very first adventure, what does she do? She takes us on this underwater adventure on this pirate ship. It was amazing.
Oh, that's great.
Wait,
Mine
mine
wasn't
wasn't
amazing?
amazing?
Yours was amazing too. All of your
We know
adventures
yours
were amazing.
was amazing. You made them fight puppies. How could it not be amazing?
I know, right? And then my dad's like, it's not amazing. I'm like, what?
All right, follow-up question about dungeon mastering, because you've both done it. What made you guys want to be a DM? What made you want to do it for the first time?
Because I saw, I remember I was going to the source with my dad for the first time. I saw these guys playing D&D. I was like, I want to be a dungeon master. Actually, I wanted to do it because I saw my dad do it, and I'm like, I could do that. But it's actually a lot harder than it looks. Oh, and you failed. What? I made you fat puppies. Don't tell me I failed.
She
You
did
failed.
not fail. She hit it out of the park.
You failed. You failed. I wanted that bread.
I knew she was serious about it too when she asked me for her own copy of a player's handbook and a monster's manual.
Nice.
But not the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Not a Dungeon Master's Guide, no.
What about you, Birdie? What made you want to DM?
Well, Sam convinced me pretty much.
Oh.
But then I enjoyed it, but I don't want to take time and write a story. That is like the best part because you get to plan out funny moments and like bloopers.
For mine,
And
I
look
for
fancy.
mine,
I was gonna have you guys fight 50 goblins. Okay, I can do that. Besides, I hate goblins. Dad said that was too much.
Did your dad help you guys get ready to be a dungeon master?
Actually, no. I did it. I did it by myself.
Oh,
I
that's awesome.
I gave them no guidance whatsoever. They're like, yeah, we're gonna plan it, we're gonna do it. It's like, okay, well, let me know if you have any questions, and they didn't.
That's
they just
awesome.
Well,
dove right into it.
For my latest adventure, I was like, how do you tell what the level of the monster is? But that basically was,
So, girls, I want to ask you another question because you guys said that you did dungeon mastering all by yourselves, and that's pretty awesome. Like you guys are what, 9.5 years old? Yes.
Yes. 9.5 in a couple days.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but there are people who are like way, way older than you who are afraid to try and dungeon master for the first time. They might look and be like, oh, the rules are scary, or it's scary to get behind the shield, the dungeon master shield, and like run a game for people. Is there any advice that you would give to anybody out there who's like afraid to try dungeon mastering for the first time?
Yes, I actually do, and it's some convenient advice that's said by my dad. For Dungeons and Dragons, whenever you DM, you don't have to follow the rules. You can do whatever you want, really. But it's also nice to follow some of the rules. It's up to the Dungeon Master. Up to me!
Because the most important thing is having fun.
Yeah. Well, and having cookies, but yes.
And having cookies.
Great.
True,
Or
very
maybe
true.
waffles.
You need-
Who's to say?
This is your game. You get to decide what you eat. Well, one thing that I thought that was really, really interesting as well is that Sam had actually pulled out her Chromebook and had that set up behind the Dungeon Master screen, very similar to the way that I play with a laptop. And she had pulled up Google Docs and Google Spreadsheets and started creating tables of NPCs and monsters and writing in notes and writing out on a Word document just by watching me. And I was just blown away by that, of just showing just how much kids are sponges and how much they observe and notice these things, that just from our sessions, they just pick that up as a habit. It's like, oh, that seems to make sense, and I'm going to try that out. So we sit down at the table and like, all right, Sam, what's your adventure? She pulls out her computer and sets up the Dungeon Master screen. It's like, oh, this is a lot more than I thought this was going to be.
Buckle in. I've got 20 hours of content. Are either of you still running a game right now, or is it more of like whenever it happens, or whenever you find more puppies?
Once I pretty soon in a month or two, I want to DM on the channel again, and I'd like to take over Twitter.
Just as a whole, or just the Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters Twitter, or just all of Twitter?
All of Twitter.
Who took over the Twitter last time?
Oh,
Okay.
I was first. I was first.
Yeah, the Bird broke it in as far as the experiment was concerned. And then
you
Sam
took Twitter off the phone, and so then I couldn't check my results on my thing.
Because I don't want you on Twitter all the time.
I look at twitter.com. I go to twitter.com.
That's my prerogative as a father.
I look at twitter.com and I search up Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters. Okay. And any more questions?
Well, hold on. I don't feel like that you actually fully answered the questions around the river, because you said a couple things, but we don't have a lot of context around them.
What thing?
So yes. So we did a couple of like one shots where Sam was the DM on the show, and I think that we'll probably do some more things like that again in the future. But I want to get a couple more regular episodes out there and released, because we kind of got out of our rhythm and the sequence of it. And so I think I want to get a little bit more time out there before we throw one of those out. And or when I feel like that I need a break, then it's a great time to have that done. And then the reference to Twitter is that, again, if that wasn't clear, is that I actually let them take over at Daughter Dungeon, our Twitter handle, for a weekend. And shockingly, by the time that we were done, they had gotten us like 50 more followers by the end of the weekend.
You guys know what you're doing.
Well, we are people that people love. I took over on Cinco de Mayo.
Neil, maybe the Dungeon Masters blog Twitter. This sounds like a pretty good deal.
Would you guys like to handle roughly 12,000 followers? I don't see anything negative that could possibly come from this.
What is your favorite thing about your dad being your dungeon master?
That I can goof off, but then he doesn't scream at me too much.
Like other dungeon masters would do.
That's a
Good call.
answer.
He lets me do a lot of stuff, like put stuff in my inventory.
You can't just write things in your inventory.
Well, I get away
But it
with
makes sense. At one point, I'm guaranteeing you said you don't have it unless it's on your sheet. And then it's like, problem solved. Whenever I need something, I just put it on my sheet.
Pandora's box open.
Yeah.
Or jar.
It's totally my fault. It's totally my fault.
Sucker!
So in those other games that you guys are running, do you have your friends playing those, or?
We had one of our friends try. Yeah, we had one. He's got really into it. He said his flaw, I believe, is that he always throws chairs at Brenna.
No, it was just every time he was angry, he throws a chair.
At me.
Yeah, and then while we were talking about and fleshing out the detail, suddenly that turned into that he carries around a little bar stool that he sits on, and then when he gets upset, he can stand up and throw the chair.
See, that was my first question, was like, that would be really inconvenient if you're in the middle of the forest and he's just got to walk off back to town. Like, I'm so mad, but until I find a chair, then you bring a chair with you. I like this problem solver.
Or he's got to break out his carpentry skills and build a chair real quick. He's like, I'm so mad. I can't.
Mad through the whole process. That's just too hard.
Like, I can't wait to throw this in 4 days.
At me.
So we've had one of their friends come over and do one game with us. And in fact, they enjoyed it so much. Their dad actually went out and bought the D&D starter sets, and he's been reading through that. And he's going to invite us over sometime and run us through that.
Nice.
I've thrown it out to the girls that if they have other friends that they want to have come over and play, they're more than welcome to. But I don't think you've extended the invitation to anyone as of yet, have you?
I've told people, but not a lot of our friends are, how do I say?
I shouldn't have laughed as hard as I did at that.
Well,
So you
I
see,
guess
I'm
that
not
a lot of our friends are nerds at D&D.
Do you think that once they sat down and actually tried it, that they would enjoy it like you did?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
We've already found out a winning formula of puppies, mage hand, and whiskey. Who's not going to like this game?
When you guys DM, when you guys Dungeon Master, do you do different voices for characters? And then if you do, can we hear one of your favorite voices?
I do not.
You do not. Okay.
Yes, and
Okay.
my favorite voice is hello. Well, no, that's not it. What's Francel's voice?
What was Francel's voice? Francel had kind of a...
Well, like,
It was almost like a Swedish chef type of voice. That
Ooh.
hello. Hello, I'm Francel.
Dad, I bet your favorite is Greg.
Do Greg's voice.
I do like doing Greg's voice because it annoys them really badly.
Those are all winners.
Oh man, I can't believe how upset they were when I brought Greg back from the dead. Well, no, not from the dead, but he was a character introduced fairly early on, and then I think it was like, gosh, almost 20 episodes before they had heard from him again.
And we were like, ah!
Not this guy.
Like, seriously, he's showing up with me. And
So yeah, I really liked the accent you did for Francel. Yeah, because it was like,
Hello.
yeah, it was like a Swedish chef. Yeah, it was great.
Hello. I'm Greg.
I do think that you need to go back and try and work on your New York accent again and bring that back because that was
Amen.
fantastic when you were in the play for that.
Oh, but I had like a script.
Oh,
I need a script.
You need a script to do in the New York accent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I still have my script.
But it's when you're doing voices and NPCs, you can do accents or you can make your voice higher, you can make your voice lower, or just try and add a little bit of texture to it.
Oh, but I also have done a Swedish voice, like an Augustus Gloop.
Oh, like a German accent.
Like
Yeah.
I was Augustus Gloop.
Augustus?
Yeah.
Do you like chocolate?
I want the chocolate.
That's perfect.
You want the chocolate?
I've got one more question. I've got the most important question that we will ask you. That's not true.
Yes.
Which do you like better, Dungeons or Dragons?
Dungeons, because I can throw Sam in it.
I told you she's evil. She's evil. I like daughters.
Well done.
That's a great. Okay.
Door number 3.
We tricked you. We have one more question. If people want to hear more from you guys, then they need to go to iTunes or any other podcast place, and they need to look up your podcast, which is called what?
Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters. Dilly Bars.
Ooh.
I'm kidding. Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters.
Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters.
All right, we're going to wrap up the interview. So, girls and Curt, say goodbye to the listeners.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Curdy and Mia and Bird say bye-bye. Bye. Goodbye.
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 Goodbye. And let's head to the mailbag of holding.
But they have been asking for their mail on a daily basis. It's all they're talking about up there.
That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
So we're back to the mailbag of holding where we have ideas, questions, and all kinds of other amazing things from you, the listener. Today, we're going to be looking at an email from Mackenzie where they had an absolute treasure trove of information, but there's a couple pieces. Yeah, it's a lot, and we're going to pick it. Yeah, we're going to pick out a couple pieces to talk about, namely the idea that their players figured out, you know what? We've done it. We've made enough money, and we don't need to fight this end boss, and we're going to leave now. And I love that, as the DM, they went with it. They're like, okay, you guys feel that you've made enough money, and you're going to move on. But then the question comes in that it was a fire giant with a portal to limbo inside their torso was the final boss. And I want to know so many things about this fire giant with a portal to limbo. Like, was it visible? Is that one of the special moves they had where they pick up a player and after a grapple check and a failure, like the player's stuck in limbo now? Like, what's going on? So
yeah, like you see this armor built on this fire giant, and where its stomach should be, it's like ripped open, and just this vortex is going. To me, like, just saying fire giant, I would see that as a PC and think, no, this is like a titan of old, created, like, came to this world before it was created. Like, fire giant doesn't seem to do it justice if it has a portal to limbo in its torso.
Oh. And did they know? Did they know that it had a portal to limbo? Is that why they're like, yeah, we've made enough money before dying, so we're going to leave now before we get sent to limbo because we don't want to go there? And that also, the other piece that kind of comes with that I wanted to also throw out there and highlight is that the repercussions of their decision changed the entire world. And that is, in my opinion, that's exactly what you do with loose threads. Like, you don't, maybe it doesn't bear fruit right away, but you have stuff that you can use and you don't let that go. Like, yeah, you guys chose to walk away, and the repercussions of that choice are X, Y, and Z because you have a fire giant with a portal to limbo, and it basically changed how magic functioned in their world. And that is absolutely amazing. And I feel inspired by you, Mackenzie.
This is important for us as DMs and for creators of homebrew worlds. We have sometimes such a set structure of how our campaign is supposed to end so that our world can be changed or stay the same, whatever it is, in the way that we have in our minds figured it out. But what players are the best at doing is throwing curveballs at us and choosing things that we're not expecting. And when it even comes down to the big final battle, potentially they don't just take that big boss down. They walk away. They make allies with it. They make a deal with this. All these could be viable options. And as a DM, sit there and ask yourself, why not? Let's have the world change based on this crazy decision the player made. Let me not be so fixed on what way this campaign should end in my mind.
Yes. So, the big takeaway, put a portal to somewhere else inside your monsters. It will not go wrong. So, again, just thank you, Mackenzie, for writing in and giving us all of these cool ideas to talk about.
Well, we hope that you have enjoyed that episode with Sam and Birdie from, and I'm forgetting Curt. Curt was there as well, from Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters. I think that was just such a blast, Neal, to record with the girls, to get the answers to all the questions that we asked them, and plenty more information as well.
Definitely. And I could definitely see how someone would listen to that episode and completely forget that Curt was even there. It was Sam and Birdie stole that show. That's for sure.
They stole it. They would forget we're there as well.
Probably.
But anyway, if our listeners would like to get in touch with us, you can email us at dungeonmasterblock@gmail.com. Send us an email about how you have played games with your kids, or answer some of the questions that we ask the girls on this podcast. If you like what we do here at the Dungeon Masters Block, please take 5 seconds of your time, head on over to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. With that 5-star review, we of course will give you a shout out on the show, just like we did for DM Boats and Lows and all the other ones on this episode.
And definitely head over to Twitter and follow us at DMS_block and like us on Facebook, where you can follow everything we post and all of the fun stuff that we do. And as always, the Dungeon Masters Block is a proud member of the Block Party Podcast Network, where you can check out other shows like Geek Wars, We're So Bad at Adventuring, and the GM Showcase, and many more.
That's it for this episode of the Dungeon Masters Block, the place where we come to talk about the Dungeon Master, the most important person in the game, the only person capable of playing God,
killing characters,
and lowering the egos of all other people at the table.
I'm DM Neal. Good night and good luck.
And keep on dungeon mastering.
My back! My back hurts!
I just remember
Sam, your face is really disgusting. What? My face is beautiful. See? Look at my face.
No, we're not doing that right now.
Birdie needs to do blooper time once in her life.
Okay. What's a funny question we can ask while he's gone? Hurry, go.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Oh, she's taking over the show.
Everybody here, I'm here. Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh.
Oh, that was quick. You have a mutiny on your hands.
Every time we sit down, it's a mutiny.
Loser, but I'm doing the wrong hand.
No, that's actually the right one.
Oh.
I thought it was rhubarb pie.
Yeah. No. I have apple pie. No, you don't.
If it's not in your inventory, you don't have it.
Give me my inventory. Give me my sheet and a pencil.
I'll solve that problem right now.
Want a sandwich? No, you say it like this. I want the chocolate. I want the chocolate. No, if you don't say the, you say Z. I want the chocolate. I want the chocolate. Pronounce the V. I want the chocolate. I want the chocolate. You know, if I want to suck the blood. I want to suck the blood.
Good old German vampires.
The mummy van.
So instead of blah, 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 do they say va, va, va?
Van, mummy van. I'm a vampire. No,
Do not say va va va.